Welcome back to Your Hour. Joining me now is Nicholas St. John, who is the author of The Human Viral Infections and 9 Things You Can Do to Smack Them Down. And this is a book I think it should be in everybody's medicine chest.
Absolutely.
But read it, because it really has some valuable information. You wanted to talk to us today about Sambucol?
Yeah, this is really a great product. It was actually commissioned by the federal government, the U.S. government, to an Israeli virologist when they were talking about bird flu back in the 90s. Mm-hmm. And they were worried that, we need some alternative ways to combat this, because by the time you get drugs through the process, it could kill millions of people without any kind of defense. And so, anyway, this virologist ended up studying what was called, we all know of elderberries, mm-hmm. Black elderberries. Well, this is from black elderberries at a really high concentration. And it's an enzyme protein that they found in it called L-Sambucus nigra. And so what they did was they packaged it, and they have it both in a tablet that you put into your tongue, as well as liquid form for children or adults, either one, depending on what your preference is. The interesting thing about this was that the Medical School of Oslo, Norway, did a double-blind study test. Now, a double-blind study test means that both the doctors and the patients, neither one knew which was the Sambucol and which was a placebo.
Okay.
So it really gave you no indication. No one could bias it in any way. Mm-hmm. When they got done, of 7 days when people that typically had this flu were compared to Sambucol, people were over it in 3.1 days. Just taking this. The placebo was 7 days. So it was very clear that it had significant increase. By comparison, this is about $15 for one. You can get it over the counter at Walgreens or CSV or any of the drugstores, as well as most of the health food stores carry it as well. So by comparison, Tamiflu, you have to go to the doctor. Maybe a doctor visit, expensive, probably around $100.
Plus, you're exposed to all the other people that have flu that are in the doctor's office.
Right. So, and then if Tamiflu isn't started within the first 2 days, they say it's virtually worthless to your system. And most people don't even go to the doctor in the first couple of days they're sick, right? But they're still issuing prescriptions for Tamiflu by the millions. And it's about $125 for it. And
really? That much?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And so by the time you get done taking it, it has been proven in their studies to stop about 1 day off of the 7 days.
Well, that's not worth $125.
Plus the doctor visit, plus getting exposed to everybody else. So Sambucol is about 5 times more effective than Tamiflu. So, if I feel anything at all, the first thing I start doing is taking some Sambucol. So that's the first line of offense. It's very inexpensive.
Okay, that's cool. Well, and the pharmacists and you don't even have to enter into the whole bit about getting a prescription filled. You don't have to you go to a health food store and you pick that up and you're good to go.
Right. Yeah, I just picked up this just here at Walgreens. It took me 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And really exposed myself to very few people who were sick.
And most of the time when you go into these like CVS or the health food stores or the places where they carry this, most of the time if you go in and you tell them what you're looking for, they can lead you right to it.
Well, especially the health food stores, Walgreens and CSV it's on the shelves, but it's not front and center. You kind of have to look for it, but they all carry it, and if you go in and ask for it, even if they can't find it, if you look around the places where there's cold remedies and stuff like that, usually it's there. So.
Okay. So coconut oil, that's something that we're hearing a lot about too.
Right. We have, you can get it in, there's a lot of different brands of it. Basically, you want to look for organic coconut oil that is unrefined. Now, if you can't find unrefined, it will still work. This has one is called lauric acid. There's been studies on how the lauric acid, which is a protein in this, actually breaks down shells of viruses. And so, if it comes in contact with it, it just basically disintegrates it, and therefore it can't get into other healthy cells to start replicating. So it's really good, but it has a ton of uses. The Wellness Mama has a website. She's published a book, 101 Uses for Organic Coconut Oil. And you were sharing with me before we started how you use it. And so maybe the viewers would like to know how you have already started using this since you and I have been talking about this product.
Well, I read something about coconut oil, and okay, one of the things that they're doing is there's some studies about how it can reverse Alzheimer's. Well, I don't have Alzheimer's yet, but it runs in the family, so I want to do everything I can to prevent it. So I'm taking coconut oil orally. But also, last night, I mixed a little coconut oil with some brown sugar, and I made a scrub, and I scrubbed my face with it for quite a while, actually. And, oh, man, my skin feels soft.
Well, it's got a lot of good nourishment in it. A lot of people use it in their hair. They use it for their face, again, because especially if bacteria and stuff that can cause acne, you'll about that. In Alzheimer's, they've done studies with taking a couple teaspoons 2 or 3 times a day, and after a couple of weeks, reverses it by as much as 40%. And I saw a clock that someone drew. They had them draw a clock before they started taking the organic coconut oil, and then 2 weeks later, the first one just had one dial and then a whole bunch of dots and no real numbers. After 2 weeks, it was a real circle with dots in the right places and the numbers. So it was a vast improvement of how much it connects. And apparently the medium chain fatty acids, we hear about fat that you don't want. Well, this is really it's called medium chain fatty acids. It's really got some great nutritional value to it as well. And so what it does is it absorbs through the brain cells, not through the normal channels of nourishing the brains. And that's why apparently it has been so successful. And we also have Pam, which you can cook with. And so anyway, it's the use of this is, again, the Wellness Mama's 101 uses of organic coconut oil is really good. It's great for the skin, it's great for the hair, and again, it'll fight off viral and bacterial infections.
Well, and it tastes good.
Right.
It's kind of sweet, but not overpoweringly sweet. And I like to put it, like you suggested, that peanut butter, put it on top of toast peanut butter. Well, I eat it that way every morning, and I love it.
Well, and I do a couple of tablespoons in my coffee, put it in the blender, whip it up, and you don't even taste it in that case. Or you can just put it in and it's on the top, and again, it's good for your lips and everything. So.
Well, thanks for joining us today. We'll have you back.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
And we'll be back with Dr. Charles, so stay with us.